All right, New York or DNC rather, 113. New York Times reported over the weekend they're doing an after-action report, aka an autopsy. And so far, according to the Times reporting, they're not looking at the question of Joe Biden's decision to run and withdraw from the race and the decisions that Kamala Harris's team made. Dan, if you were an advisor to Ken Martin and you read this story, what would you advise him to do? Stay the course, change things up, kill the thing? What should they do?
I don't necessarily think you need to look at whether Joe Biden should have run or not. I think history is very, very clear on that. And there's so many what ifs, like when he would have gotten out, etc. I do think, I don't know how you're doing this and you are not looking at the decisions that Kamala Harris's campaign made and the strategic decisions that the Joe Biden campaign made in 2023 and early 2024. How do you pin this on the outside groups? It's as if the campaign takes its direction from the outside versus the outside taking the direction from the campaign. It's a joke.
So as someone who has tremendous experience in writing one of these, I will tell you part of the thing at the beginning is where you answer your questions. Yeah. So when you sit down to do this, you have to say, are we willing to take the lumps and get crapped on? And we, under Reince's leadership at the RNC, there were a lot of our own members as part of the 168 that said, why are we airing our dirty laundry? This is stupid. Like, we are telling everyone where the problems are. We felt we needed to instill a sense of trust and bring back donors, and it served a greater good. And I don't think that what we did, the Growth and Opportunity Project, will ever get the credit it deserves. But if you look at what was spawned out of that, the outside groups, America Rising, Data Trust, the fundamental mechanical changes that existed within the Republican ecosystem post that report have literally transformed the ability for the party to win in a way that it couldn't have in 2012. So the question is, why are you doing it? I think we went into it fully, truthfully, and saying we're going to look at it warts and all. People are going to get pissed at us, and they did. These guys are trying to check a box and say we wrote a report so that we can say we wrote a report. That's, again, you just create a problem when you do stuff like that. And I don't think Ken Martin was the guy who launched it, right?
No, it was Jamie Harrison. It was under Harrison's leadership,
but he started. I'll tell you, there's three things that I propose to smart Democrats that if they're smart, this report would focus on. One is they've got to figure out why they're losing the voter registration battle. That's massive. Two is technology. It's hard to quantify this, but they're clearly behind on using technology. Got to figure that out. And then the third thing is all this stuff about podcasts and why they don't have as much success there, and maybe they can handle that. But they've got to have a point of view. Yeah.
My theory on this is that when we did this and looked at it, honestly, it's like when something comes really easy to someone, like if you're a student and you don't have to study very hard, it's versus somebody who does, they approach the same thing very differently. And when you think about where we were in the late 2000s, we were horrible at voter registration because we kept the voter list internal. We didn't allow outside groups, and voter reg is a very, very expensive and intensive, labor-intensive issue. Data, the same thing. Technology, obviously, I mean, Republicans would never known as it. We literally hired a dude, one guy, Andy Barquette from Facebook, and that was like our secret sauce. We hired a guy. But Republicans, I feel, because they were behind the eight ball and all this, we felt like we have to grind harder. I think the problem for most of this stuff, voter reg, technology, Dems it's come easy to them for the last several decades. And suddenly it's like, I don't even know how to start because we've allowed NGP Van and everyone else to do the work for us.
Well, the other thing that's was crazy in that story is the number of people doing autopsies. I mean, there was I think there was references to four different groups, the DNC and three different. I mean, if I'm a donor, it's like we're wasting money.
But ironically, that's why they're doing it, right? They want to attract the donor money by saying we're the ones who figured out what went wrong, and so we're the ones you should give money to go forward.
Want more great clips like that? I've got an idea. Hit the subscribe button, be part of the Two-Way community, never miss a clip. And you can always watch our full episodes, join them live, go to twoway.tv.